Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we have another opportunity to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, today I'm talking about being insane for the absolute, which is what I've gotten from Eastern philosophy. You got to do this like there's no tomorrow. You got to really be all over it. They call it Tivra Samvegen, supremely enthusiastic, because once you turn an optimistic phrase of mine and really get into this, very little criticism avails to cast doubt on this anymore, because in a certain way it's proven to you by your continued involvement in it. It's all about immersing yourself in the here and now, because the now has greater significance than later. And even the desire to become something, which one part of you understands you have to aspire to something by recognizing you don't got it in order to get there, but then you're in time. And the present is not in time, it's just here. So in a certain way, it's a paradox, because when you do that, it's almost like you're postponing till some later time. But you can't pretend that you're there when you're really not. So first you get on fire and realize that the highest satisfaction is the thirst, the hunger. And this becomes a compass by which you steer by. Yes, it's great if you have a teacher to pass the blessing on through direct contact by just watching their personality. Like they said, I didn't come to my rabbi to learn Kabbalah, but to watch how he tied his shoes. Or through instruction. And hopefully, if you're an autodidact, you teach yourself. But very often it's very helpful to have a role model outside yourself, a field of visibility that shows you what it looks like when you're really working on it. So the teacher is always friendly if you're devoted. But the teacher doesn't have time for the people who are not sincere. So first you have to admit you don't know. Saying I know closes the door. You got to take your ego, leave it behind with your shoes when you enter the yogashala. And first they tell you to work on your ethical life, yama and niyama, because the yamas teach you what you need to discard because it messes you up so bad you don't have the clarity. And the niyamas teach you what you have to adhere to. So you abstain from one and you sustain in the other one. And then you learn also to have a satsang, a support group, fellowship with people on the path. Certainly staying healthy and fit and having spiritual activities around which you develop friendships. That's a great way to start and sustain yourself, even though there's many things you have to do by yourself. Because ultimately your path is different than everyone else's path, and surrendering to your dharma and being in harmony with that is where your freedom lies. So, although we might criticize initially people who wander aimlessly and put pressure on themselves for results, later on you do wander aimlessly and just take whatever comes down the pike and feel thrilled that you're alive without any pressure for results. Take the pressure off yourself. And because the all, or spirit, call it whatever you want, the all is everywhere, anywhere can be an entry or a seat of power. And then you find that the joy of living replaces the misery of just trying to survive. So hopefully you can accommodate a different point of view, and hopefully you can also think outside the box. Eventually it's about surrender. Even though I talk about the Dharma tributaries, once the river arrives in the sea, there's no more tributaries. So this is the surrender to that thing which is greater than yourself. And I would say if you're going to leave everyone's head and heart a little better than how you found it, doesn't matter who they are, just get down right there with them and stay in the present moment. And a little story about how to think outside the box. Nasruddin, the Sufi fool, went by customs every single day for 25 years. And they searched him. They knew he was smuggling. They searched him up and down his clothes, every orifice. The donkeys that he was bringing across their packs and everything like that, nothing. And he always had that smirk on his face, so they knew that he was doing something. Finally, one day the customs head the head of the customs, he retired, and he met Nasruddin on the street, and he said, listen, I'm out of the business right now. I can't prosecute you. Let me know. All these years, were you smuggling? Nasruddin said, yes, I was. He says, I knew it. So just tell me, we never found anything, but was it gold? Mm-mm. Diamonds? No. Precious gems? Mm-mm. Counterfeit contraband? Mm-mm. What was it? Donkeys.